you hear, this is like 2 weeks out of the last four or something that you hear my voice in the intro because Alex is late or could not make it tonight. He cannot make it. I'm pretty sure he told me why, but it's a shitty ass excuse. And here we are. But little Alex isn't here. This episode was supposed to have three folks up on here to talk about some new stuff they've been having going on. And we've got one of the three, but we do have Big Alex here, and I'm pretty sure by now everybody knows who Big Alex is. That's Big Alex, the most famous fishing Alex. And then we got Bailey. This was supposed to be a serious angler podcast to talk about what they got going on and all the fishing they're doing and shit. And Bailey texted me Wednesday and said, "Oh shoot, Rudd is in town." And I went, "What the?" Or no. He said, "This is what he said." He said, "I've got Rudd this week," and I'm like, "What the fuck, man? We scheduled this out at least 5 or 6 weeks ago." But he meant Rudd was here fishing with him. So they're in New York State, Buffalo, somewhere around Buffalo area. They've been out fishing all week. They look tired. I'm tired. Bailey needs to wear sunscreen so he doesn't get face cancer. We would not like to see him without a nose. He's already ugly enough. But here we are. They're tired. I'm tired. We're going to do this podcast. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. And if Alex was here, I would not be here, because it's been a long week working. But here we are in this Bass and Brews podcast. Go check out the Patreon shit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to the previous episode. Listen to the intro. Alex will tell you all about it. We're your weekly distraction from quality podcast content, even though we do have two of the most qualityest podcasters in the fishing content world on here with us now. Alex, Rudd, Bailey, Brett. How is it going? How are y'all today besides tired?
I don't think you can say quality podcasts. I feel like I was pretty shit.
Listen, I ain't put out a podcast episode in about 3 weeks, so you can't call me quality anything. Inconsistent at best. No, yeah, man, listen, it's good. It's real good. It's like better than real good. We've been cracking them for the past few days. And honestly, it's been tough for New York, but we still put a 32-pound bag together yesterday and probably another, 26, 27 pounds today. I mean, just insane. So I can't complain. It's been really fun. I'm just ready for it to stop raining and misting and the wind to stop blowing. I don't think the wind to stop blowing, but I'm ready for it to stop misting and raining.
Wind never stops blowing up here.
Yeah, yep. It sounds like that northeast area in Texas, Oklahoma, the wind never stops. Like you just got to understand you're going to go out there and fish in some fucking wind. But a dirty 30. Oh, yeah. And it was all largies, right? I mean, that's the pictures I saw. It was big old fat female largemouth. That's that sounds. I'm stuttering so much right now. I mean, because I've been fishing. We had a tournament down here on Falls Lake, which this time last year, that tournament was taking 25, 28 pounds to win. We thought we were going to crush them. Nah, bitch, we had 9 pounds one day and 8 pounds the other day, and the second day the 9-pound bag. We're pretty sure old boy's scales were a little fucking heavy because our 9-pound bag was more like 7. We thought, but yeah, y'all been that's pretty awesome. Guess I need to come up there and fish with Bailey. Did Bailey put you on the fish, or did Alex you put Bailey on the fish?
I don't know. Bailey's been putting me on all the fish. When I come fishing with people, I come fishing with people I know that are on fish. Sorry, I just picked the tick off of Bailey and killed it.
Anyway, no shit, a tick. Yeah.
Shit.
Where
that bad boy came from.
Well, I'm glad Bailey has on a light colored shirt. Well, tell me this is. So if we just found a tick during the podcast, obviously you got to do a tick check, and Bailey lives with his wife. So I don't know if y'all have ever got a tick on.
I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I'll be back.
I don't know if you've ever. Well, I'm gonna hold this because I need an answer to this question about how it goes. Now both of y'all got the tick jitters, don't you?
Yeah. I'm like touching myself just to make sure. You know what's weird though is ticks don't really bother me because of my beard oil.
I've been around a lot of places with a lot of ticks, and I haven't pulled off a ton from me when other people have. and I never use beard oil. I'm not sure what it is, but when a motherfucker bites me and it's in me and I pull it off, like I get a basketball size welt on that
Really?
body part. Yeah, it's I got sensitive skin, man. I
I
don't know
mean,
if
here's
it's
the deal, dude. I mean, I think the sensitivity of any man to know that something's inside of him is probably really important for their survival. So, you might want to people. If you don't know you have something inside of you, you might want to get that dialed in.
yeah, well, luckily I've got sensitive skin, so when a tick bites me, I know it really quickly.
Yeah,
It gets really itchy, so I don't ever pull off one of those fat ticks.
yeah,
I love red meat. I don't want alpha gal.
yeah.
Uh,
No kidding. I actually
I,
know a guy that has that.
oh, really? So
Yeah.
funny story. I know a guy that they consider, what the fuck is it called? Like he was diagnosed with this stuff in 2010 or something.
Huh.
2008, 2010. He's like what the fuck zero? I can't remember the
Patient
name of it.
zero.
Patient, yeah. He was one of patient zero. He went through months and months of tests and come to find out he had it. It was one of the first episodes that they diagnosed, at least. I didn't know this. And then my swamper, when I was a wildland firefighter drink, he got it. He was up in a Kentucky area for a fire detail. And for a couple months, he just kept breaking out in hives. And he was out west when the hives started. And he's like, man, I'm allergic to some kind of food. So he kept cutting food out. And sure as shit, every time he would cut any mammalian meat out, it wouldn't happen. And then, I don't know, a couple months later, a month later, 6 months later, whatever it was, we had an article that somebody had written about that area where they had this alpha gal was diagnosed in these firefighters, and he had been in that area at the same time, but he didn't go to the doctor. But yeah, I don't want alpha gal. I like life. I would not like to have Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And, so far my organs are working fairly well, so it means I don't want Lyme's disease. So
I don't
where
want
you're
anything that comes from a bug. Period.
No,
Like,
not
dude,
at all.
I know a guy who got malaria.
Oh, fuck.
I know another dude who got the dengue fever.
Dengue fever. That's
Dengue fever. Yeah. Yep. Another guy got that. And then my dad, one time when he was still alive and still doing mission trips in Haiti, he got scarlet fever.
uh-oh.
How was that?
It's it's a bug borne. You get it from mosquitoes. Dude, he ran a fever and it was crazy. But the thing was, as soon as he got back to America and started drinking chlorinated water again and taking showers and got some antibiotics, it cleared right up.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it's Haiti and it's literally you're dirty all the time. And it's then you get bit by a mosquito and it just compounds everything. Dude, it's crazy. Any bug borne, did you know, fun fact, rabbit hole, if you ask people, oftentimes they'll say, what's the most dangerous animal on earth? They'll be like, oh, no, a hippopotamus, a dog, whatever. It's a mosquito.
Mosquito kills more
people per year than any other animal on planet Earth.
Yep. And has been for hundreds of thousands of years. Crazy.
Dude, do you watch The Last of Us?
I have not watched that. It's on my queue, but right now I'm rewatching. What the fuck, King? I got a brain. I told you I was tired. I got a brain.
You're gonna brain worm, probably. What you got.
Anyway, go ahead. Lost of Us. No, I haven't watched it.
Dude, Last of Us is wicked. But it's down that same vein of I don't want to get crap, but it's about fungus, and it's this fungus jumps to humans. If you see the videos of the fungus that attacks the spiders and takes them over,
yeah,
it's that, but in humans.
No,
and bro, listen, it freaks me out just to think about it, but there's no telling. After COVID, there ain't no telling what could happen. I don't know what to think anymore.
Hey, all right. So since Bailey's back and Alex Rudd, Big Alex, found a tick on him and saved his life, Bailey can still continue to eat mammalian meat. He won't have alpha gal, at least at this point. So Bailey's there at Bailey's house. His wife's there. Alex is visiting. How does the tick check go? Obviously, Bailey, your wife, can give you a full body tick check because it's all the crevices under your arms, the genitalia, the thighs, the butt crack. Like those are the places that you really have to check good. So does your wife check Alex, or do you check Alex? Like, how does Alex come out of this unscathed with a tick check?
Listen, I'll let Bailey do whatever he wants to me.
Well, I asked Bailey the question, bud. I didn't ask you. I
I
asked
know,
Bailey.
I'm just putting it out in the universe. How big do you think that fish is?
Maybe 5.
Okay. I was wondering. Thick or-
I don't
How's
know.
a tick check go?
That's what mirrors are made for, bro.
So you walk into the bathroom when Alex Rudd's taking a shower, and you walk in by accident, and he's got his leg lifted up on the damn sink. He's like, "You wouldn't check me, so I got to try to check myself."
No, that's what they made mirrors for.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to, he's tall enough.
There's no tick checks going on in this house.
Well, yeah, you say that after Alex just pulled a tick off of you and you left for 5 minutes.
All right.
That's only one of 2 ticks I've ever found on me before.
You owe me something.
I got you a 32-pound bag yesterday. Was that good enough? No.
Let's give us a tick check.
What'd you say? A dick check?
What?
Dick
What
check,
now?
tick check,
Okay.
whatever works. Hey, if you're good enough buddies, dick ticks, it's just one letter.
That's right. You remember that too.
Hey, speaking of one letter, Bailey has Bailey, what's on your head right now?
A winter hat.
No, what do you call it? When you just wash clothes and you can't find what's on your head right now, when you go to your wife and say, "Hey, I need this, what's on my head," what do you say?
Don't I usually say winter hat?
No, or beanie.
Or winter hat or beanie?
Okay, Alex Rudd, bless you, child.
Hey, thank you.
What do you call that on Bailey's head?
A toboggan, bro.
A toboggan.
It's the toboggan.
Same thing here. It's a fucking toboggan.
It must be a southern thing that I just didn't even
100%.
realize.
I never realized it. A toboggan is apparently a sled, but that makes no sense because a sled is a sled.
Because in the South, you just make shit up all the time.
Wow.
Shut up. Listen, I've been up here for a damn week, okay? The only thing good in New York as a whole state is the fishing. Traffic sucks, your roads suck, your food sucks, you have no Coke.
Buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings don't count, okay? Buffalo, you have one thing to claim victory.
Yeah,
Butter and hot sauce. A monkey could make that fucking meal.
Yes, that can trap. Now, they do fry them a certain way. I don't understand how they fry them to make them so good. But other than that, everything sucks about this place. It's cold. It's shitty. The people are all assholes. I mean, it's just, I don't understand anybody from the north who looks at the south and goes, it is worse than where I live. That's an impossibility. Yeah, we've got rednecks and white trash and a lot of trailers, but at least we don't have whatever this is up here. But the fast fishing is incredibly good. I do have to give it that.
Yeah,
It's
but
fun to be out on the lake.
Doesn't the bass fishing kind of end here in about a month or so? Doesn't it get very, very, you're not catching no 30-pound bags in a month or something, right? But you're catching big smallmouth. Is that kind of the transition?
There's probably still 5 lakes, 5 fisheries that you can still catch 30 pounds out the whole year.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, these fish are stupid. Like, you just don't even comprehend. They're stupid. Like, I caught one today that was probably 5 pounds and 18 inches long. Like, I have such a hard time. Like, I will get one out of the water, and I'll look at Bailey, and I'll go, Bailey, that has to be a 6-pounder. And Bailey's like, no, Alex, that's like a 4-pounder. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that is a physical impossibility that fish doesn't weigh 6 pounds. And you put it on a scale, and it's like 411, and it's 17 inches long, and you're just like, I don't even understand how that bass is built like that. Like, They threw me for a loop. I caught a 6-pounder yesterday. You couldn't have convinced me it wasn't an 8-pounder. Like, they're ridiculous the way that they're shaped.
Hey, that's that short growing season.
It's something.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. I can't wait to put these videos out. They're going to be fun.
When the green room, I told Bailey he looked like he had a condom on his head before it's used. When the little tip of the condom, where you squeeze the air out of it before it fills up with his toboggan. Good
It
times.
does look like that, sort of, I guess.
I told you. See?
I mean, he is just a big old dick anyway, so.
Hey,
I'm sorry, man. He's such the brunt of all of our jokes. He gets it so bad. He just gets railed.
Well, look, Rudd, I think you're a little bit older than him, but if you're in the South, I'm like a year or two old enough to be his daddy. And so, like, Bailey's a youngin' compared to us. I mean, I think y'all are the same age, aren't you? Aren't
No,
y'all
he
both
called
like
me an old
26?
man the other day. What did you call me an old man? How old are you?
27.
Yeah, I'm not even that much older than you. I'm only 30. You
I
called
know.
me an old man. I am kind of an old man though now. I'm popping and cracking. No shit. I gotta go to the doctor Monday. The doctor. Who the hell goes to the doctor? Me. I have to go to the doctor and visit him. What the hell?
Well, that's what happens when you outgrow where you're supposed to be in life. Jesus.
Man, that was
Kid
a
just
whole
fucking
ass
threw a
person.
box out here and it sounded like a bomb exploded. God almighty. Fuck me. Look, the trash can is literally 5 feet away, but they throw the boxes out here, and so when I come out, anyway, different story.
Do you have trash service?
Of course, we're in the South.
He is.
Okay.
He is the trash service.
So
No, I don't deal. I crush the trash. I do
So
not
do
touch
you
the
have-
trash.
do you have like weeks where your trash can is so full it's like incomprehensible, and then like the next week there's like nothing in it?
No, our trash is never nothing. It is always full, or is so full that the day or two before I take it out, I'm trying to like jump on top of the trash can to mash it down.
Yeah.
But I live in a townhome, but both of my neighbors to the side of me, their trash is always half full. So I'm filling their fucking trash cans up on Tuesday. Trash comes on Tuesday morning. I'm filling their shit up. So my one neighbor, Elena, my neighbor wife, she'll put her trash out there, and it's usually a third full. By the time that I leave at 6:30 on Tuesday mornings, her trash has shit poking out up of it. All the damn recycling I don't recycle goes in there. Like her trash can looks like a homeless person, who's got a shopping cart rolling around full of shit.
I feel like this is like that episode of King of the Hill where somebody starts filling Hank's trash cans. You remember that? And he gets all pissed and trying to figure out who it is. I feel like that y'all's neighbors are like that. They're like, these sons of bitches are out here filling our trash cans up again.
No, at this point they know it's me. But speaking of King of the Hill remake is coming up soon.
Listen,
I can't wait.
I can't wait either, because I have to admit this on live for everybody to hear. I literally know every single episode of King of the Hill. Like I can tell you, but as soon as the episode starts, I can tell you the whole plot of the entire episode just by the first few scenes. Like, bro, King of the Hill was my jam and still is my jam. Like if I ever just want to go mind dead on the couch, I turn on King of the Hill and just lay back and let it happen.
Bailey, have you ever watched King of the Hill? The fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. Mentally ill, retarded. I don't know. Well, we can't say that word.
Wow.
Is that one back?
Great. Now I got to get Alex to edit this. Actually, no, I don't care. But hey, real quick before I forget, Bailey's got his pre-used condom toboggan on his head.
Right.
He's got some curls, some fluff coming out the back of his head behind his ears. And I used to have really long hair. And I saw Bailey I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago he started posting, or I saw one of his posts, and he had some long hair starting to come out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to grow my shit out.
Look at you.
And so because again, I got good hair. I don't have a receding hairline.
I mean, that's some bitch that stuck his finger in the
Look, I'm growing my shit out, and Bailey and I are going to be ponytail buddies. We're going to have ponytails. We're going to do man bun competitions. And Bailey doesn't know this. I'm announcing this right now. We're going to have hair competitions for the year of 2025.
Well, you're going to win. You got a better hairline than me.
Yeah, but you're not bald yet.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, but you're not Andy.
Andy's got a better head of hair than I do.
Well, shit short. You know who doesn't have a better hairline than you? Alex Rudd.
Let me tell you something. Do you know I used to have hair all the way down to my shoulders?
You know what you won't have down to your shoulders?
I bet you I could grow my hair right back out. All I do is shave it. I just number one it all over. That's why it looks like I'm bald.
Well, if you're going to have a receding hairline and you can grow a beard like yours, yeah, both.
Oh, yeah, it's high peaks, widow peaks, bro. I got those from my dad.
So, yeah, Alex would have hair down to his shoulders, but he would have nothing in the middle.
Bro, I get is what I get. So I keep the widow's peaks, and it's like this Rico Suave, like up and over, like
the same
flippy do. Yeah, dude, it was. I would have to find the picture. It was like, I don't know. I was still in college, but bro, I had some wicked locks. Like it was awesome. I could put it back and everything. It was long. Like it hung probably down past my shoulders. It was like that.
Oh
long.
yeah.
I've never seen so many guys especially your region of the country, that have long hair and giant beards.
Well, I mean,
full Duck Dynasty.
We just get tired of paying for it, paying to cut it. Now I do like to get my hair cut. I get my hair cut every 2 weeks. Haircut, beard.
Shit.
Every 2 weeks.
See.
If you just buzz it, what do you?
Yeah, she does, but she does my beard and like cleans it all up.
That's fair.
Y'all aren't old enough yet, but I'm 43. When you hit 43 and you go get a haircut, they're like, "Hey, do you want me to do your eyebrows?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Hey, do you want me to do between your nose?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Hey, you want me to hit your ears?" I'm like, "Yeah." Half the fucking haircut is them trimming the fucking hairs growing on the side of my earlobes and out my ears.
I mean, bro, if you've not noticed, I'm like 3/4 Sasquatch anyway, so I got to do a lot of trimming to keep this. I mean, bro, if I didn't cut my beard and trim it, I think my beard would grow through my eyeballs.
I've seen it when you let it go, dude.
It gets all the way up here. Like, bro,
He's got eyebrows above and eyebrows below. Like,
it looks like Teen Wolf, just fucking all hair everywhere. Good times. Hey Bailey, what does your wife think about your long hair? Is she a fan?
She's the only reason that it's long.
Really? Does she let you use her hair products and her brushes?
I told her, I don't own my hair. It's her hair.
Okay.
Whatever she wants, we'll do.
Hey Rudd, have you ever used a wet brush for your beard?
Oh hell yeah, bro! I buy one like every 6 months. That's what I got.
Because the little balls on the end come out brushing through the damn
hair.
Yes,
it does. Yeah, dude. But the wet brush is the ultimate beard brush.
Yep. 100%.
My wife let me use hers one time, and I was like, I want that, and I want it in pink. And she got me one in pink. I get her one in. Mine's in blue right now, but I want another pink. Pink or purple, bro. It's the best one.
I kept using my wife's. What happened?
What is a wet brush? Like it's made for like wet hair because I used to comb my long hair when I had it.
Yeah, it's a brush that's all right. Turn the camera around so your wife can explain it. Is she eating or something? She don't want to be on camera.
No, she's flipping you the bird.
Well, all right. Well, tell her to flip me a bird as she explains what a wet brush is, and put the camera on her, or make her slide over. Come on, it's Bass and Brews. Ain't nobody watching.
Bass and Brews.
It's just a wide tooth comb for wet hair. It's just better for your hair than a regular brush. It's more gentle.
That's why I have such an immaculate beard.
Interesting. You're a physical therapist, correct?
I am.
So is my wife.
Really?
Bailey hasn't told you this before. We have talked about this numerous times.
He probably has. I don't remember.
My wife is a PT.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yep. She's old like me. Y'all are young kids. How was it? Does Bailey come home after a weekend of fishing and be like, "Hey, my back hurts, my hip hurts, my IT band is tight," and do you have to fix him?
He rolls around on the floor and tries to stretch.
And you laugh at him, or do you help him?
No, I laugh.
Do you even give him like a Naugahyde roller to roll around on or anything?
Oh yeah, we have all the tools. We have a foam roller. We have a muscle roller. We have everything.
Are you cupping or needling him?
Cupping is the shit.
Yeah, I don't have cups.
I love it.
I should get some. I don't have any.
Oh yeah. Well, look, I'll send you some link for some cups. But anyway, no dry needling. My wife, real quick before you answer that, I had a shoulder injury, and it was really tough. And I don't do well with needles. I almost passed out when I got a TB test one time. And so my wife's like, "Let me needle it." she hit me. So it's kind of like acupuncture, but they're manipulating the needle a little more. Anyway, she hit the fucking muscle spasm around my trap, or what my trap is. Anyway, it's shoulder. She hit that shit, and I completely started going to almost blacking out. I was like, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Lightheaded, almost passed out. No more needling for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New York doesn't have dry needling, so I don't. I know about it. I've never done it. I've never experienced it.
Alex Rudd, there's another thing you can add to your list about why New York State sucks is they won't let you dry needle.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I am a huge proponent of massages, of cupping, of yoga, of sauna, of cold plunge. I do it all. How about probably need to do a little bit of it, but
how about cold play? You in the cold play?
Coldplay's gay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hate for Coldplay. They good shit.
I don't like Coldplay at all. Like I think
talking about
horrible.
the band.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or are we talking about the set? Anyway.
What the fuck else would we be talking? I
Bro,
guess we're
I don't
talking to
know.
a guy from Buffalo.
You're
Coldplay could,
weird shit.
yeah,
So
Coldplay could be some New York sexual position that we don't know about, Rudd.
I mean, dude, when it gets as iced up and like as much snow that happens up here, dude, I could see some Coldplay going on.
How about 21?
Those games.
How about 21 Pilots?
The Coldplay, not role play, Coldplay. It's COLE play, Coldplay, role play. You know?
Hey, in the South, though, somebody could get super confused between Coldplay and role play because they do come out really similar unless you listen for that first or ruh.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about being up here is like I have to really enunciate, but like when I walk in a room and I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Everybody in the room, it's like those scenes from movies and everybody's like stops and looks at me. Like, yeah, it's like, what the hell kind of damn backwoods redneck shit was that? Do I hear banjos? Hold on a second.
I do enjoy spectating from that aspect of watching people's faces.
Sure. And then as Southerners, when somebody doesn't understand us well, we slow down and try to enunciate slowly. And what happens? It's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. We slow down. We're already talking slow.
Exactly.
And then you slow down. They're like, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. Like I say, Diet Coke. Like real quick, Diet Coke. I want a Diet Coke. Up here, you gotta be like, I want a Diet Coke, and it's like, then it just sounds weird. It's just too much in the throat.
Pronouncing words as they're meant to be pronounced.
Don't talk to me, hey there, ho there, how you doing? Okay,
what's wrong with you?
Just because I add "a" to the end of my sentences doesn't mean.
Yeah, you still got to touch it. You're not that bad. Land's horrible. No, I'm just kidding. You're not that bad. People from northern Michigan, though.
Ooh,
that's
the
rough.
Yoopers.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. It's, hey there, ho, bud. How you doing there? Eh? Oh, you know what you're doing. I mean, it's just a bunch of this and a bunch of that. And it's just it's horrible. But, yeah.
Hey, speaking of northern Michiganders, or whatever they're called, when we had a couple come down my first year of firefighting, I was cooking fish. I was cooking bass. And I gutted them, breaded them, fried them, and they're like, they still got the heads on them. They still got the bones in them. It's like, you should fillet those fish. I'm like, bitch, it's a 12-inch bass. We're talking about, a quarter-size fillet when we're done. I had to teach them how to eat a goddamn fish with the head, bass, a largemouth bass with the head on it.
Mm-hmm. You ever eat a whole fish?
No.
It's one of my favorite things to do, cook a whole fish.
Are you serious? You've never eaten a whole...
The heck kind of fish, I'll be honest.
You ever ate the eyeballs then? Eyeballs are good. You cut the cheeks out depending on what species.
The cheeks and the eyeball?
Cheeks. I've done cheeks, yes. All that cheeks are pretty good up here.
Oh, no, we're talking about bass.
I know. I'm just saying, in general, I don't really eat that.
Y'all should have kept a 5-pounder to deep fry and let Alex deep fry you a good southern deep fried largemouth. It's 5
Maybe
pounds.
yesterday's leg. Today's leg. That leg's hurting. Well, apparently not. They're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good.
We had like 25 pounds. I don't know about all that.
That leg's hurting 25 pounds.
That's what Bailey's like, man, it's just not that good right now. And I'm like, Yeah, okay, dude. Whatever you say, you crack smoker, it's not that good. Okay. Like just the numbers are down. I'm like 25 on a glide bait. Yeah, numbers are real down. Like what in the world?
Oh shit! Y'all were catching them on big baits this weekend. What were y'all catching them on?
Today was strictly all glide.
Yeah.
Big glides or 8, 10, 12
Sevens.
inchers?
Sevens. Not like huge, but not small.
Yeah.
I like to
Fun
stick with you, buddy.
Kayaks, all in the kayak.
Oh yeah.
Andy
The fact
said,
that we
"Fuck."
put a 32-pound bag together in kayaks is wild. If you think
Mhm.
about it.
That's a big bag.
It's pretty fucking impressive. Was that
Smallest of this was a 6 on the dot.
how many fish did y'all catch for that 32-pound bag of 5 fish? But how many fish did y'all catch during that time?
25 a
Oh
piece. maybe.
Maybe. I didn't catch that many. I just got big bites because I started skipping those docks. And I caught
I'll have
that
to go back and
6.
check, but I mean, less than 50 for sure.
He said less than 50.
I don't know. I mean,
So, but y'all had a couple 30-pound bags probably then.
I don't know about a couple.
I mean,
You
I
caught
know
50
I had
fish, so you
350.
had 130. You had 130, and then y'all had probably 4 or 5 bags.
We had a few
Of
25-pound
25s.
bags ourselves alone.
Well,
but
I had three for 18.
Mhm.
Then plus I had that 5, that high 5.
yeah, we had like,
So that's 20.
if you want to like tally it
I
out,
probably had like 28 pounds by myself.
yeah.
All right, I got a quick question for two guys that are in the industry and run around in the same circles as the professional fishing leagues and know this. Obviously, Bailey, you have a ton of these guys on. You're catching 30-pound bags. You're catching 50 fish with 25-pound bags. The professional sports don't move up until kind of the smallmouth start to spawn later in the summer.
hmm
They're down here fishing for the spawning largemouth in the south. Why the fuck aren't why aren't the professional leagues going up there this time of year to catch 30-pound bags in New York and the northern part of the country? Why aren't they up there this time of year?
Bassmaster can't because they live well fish, so they're not able to do it until bass season opens in the north. Major League Fishing can do it, but they don't do it because our northern tourism groups won't pay them.
So it's not the actual. It's not the entities.
I'm sure if
regulations.
Major League Fishing, like if money wasn't a thing, I'm sure like with their format, they can go wherever they want because they're catch and release. I'm
Right.
sure they'd be up. I'm sure of it, but it's, Bassmaster could, but they have the whole live welling thing. You know, they could do the whole Texas Fest style, but they won't. I doubt they'll ever do it.
Okay, so y'all can't get fish. Y'all can't have fish in the live well up to a certain.
Not till it's like the second Saturday in June or something like that.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yep.
Yeah, so we can catch and release. There's only 2 counties in New York where you can't even fish for bass, and they're typically majority of it is the eastern basin of Lake Ontario and most of like the Clayton area of St. Lawrence River. So, which is good because it leaves those smallmouth alone for a little while, which is why the fishing is so good. But we can catch and release. We just can't. You can't put them in a live well. Can't keep them.
Is that a conservation effort for breeding, or what's the deal with that? Because largemouth bass up there are an invasive species.
I mean, that's the idea is conservation, like, allow them to get through the spawn cycle, which if that's whoever made the dates the way they are is an idiot though. Cause it's like opening day is all spawners. So it's, but I don't know. I think it helps preserve our fisheries. Cause I mean, on the times when you're going through spring and you're catching all these big ones and a lot of numbers, like it's probably a good idea that people aren't filling them all. And I think there's a reason why our spring fishing is so good.
That makes sense because we've got.
I mean, how many small ones did you catch? No.
I mean, like the
No
smallest
smallies.
fish that I've caught this week,
3-pounder.
3.5
Holy
pounds.
shit.
Yeah,
Y'all catching what, 40, 50 a day, you said?
somewhere around there. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. But
I mean, I caught probably 20 today, 25.
I
it's
mean,
just-
that's ridiculous. Now I don't get to go down to Florida or Alabama or Tennessee River like Alex, but to me, if you're out there catching 30, 40, 50 fish, and the smallest one you catch is 3 pounds, I don't know anywhere down here that I know anybody that catches that amount of fish that big.
That's the reason that when I spend money and time traveling, I go north. It's just because it's insane. It's why I'm going to Michigan next month. I mean, like, just the fishing opportunity and the ability to get a lot of bites, and for a majority, if not like almost all of them, to be quality, what we consider quality bites
fish
and a healthy fish. Dude, it's the place to do it. I mean, dude, I've done the Florida thing. It's cool. I've done the Texas thing. I mean, it's cool. I mean, like Texas, you're going to see 40-pound bags in Texas. Like, it's completely possible. But like it takes so much to go and actually put together a 40-pound bag in Texas versus, dude, you can come up here. And I mean, to crack 30 pounds where we crack 30 pounds, it's not unheard of.
Well, there's been a lot of them this spring.
Yeah.
A lot of 30
I mean, the day before we went there, there was a 2-pounder caught.
There was a 10-pounder. There's a 37-pound bag caught. It's
shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I mean, just to put it bluntly, dude, like, you can go drop shot a banana peel and catch a 5-pounder right now.
They're dumb.
As Alex said,
They're
they're
stupid.
They're very stupid.
Yeah, that's what I like.
That's crazy to me to hear that, because back when I was younger, so the 90s, and they're pretty much the 90s, there weren't even really that many fishing tournaments up north. Everything was southern based from the professional side, and to hear the weights and the numbers, like I would have never thought that. I would have thought that, all the big fish are down south. And then obviously the more people I've met over the last 4.5 years of doing this podcast up in the north, and Bailey's one of them, is seeing some of these fish that come out of there. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I would have never thought that. That's insane.
Times are changing too, though. Like, there's different factors that have definitely made it better. Like, anglers are getting better. There's more of them. And obviously, bass fishing becoming more popular. Well, but also gobies have made everything.
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
Oh, the gobies. Okay.
It boils down to two major factors, really: food and pressure. There's an immense amount of food up here. Gobies, bluegills, perch, little bait fish. I mean, like, the food structure here is perfect to grow ginormous bass. It's like it's everything you need. And then pressure. There's a 6-month cap over their head where nobody can jack with them.
True.
And it's just like Mexico. Outside of Mexico, this is the most like incredible fishing that you can go and do. And like the thing about Mexico that makes Mexico so special, it's food and pressure. Dude, when I was in Mexico, like, there were these little things, they called them mosquito minnows. From mosquito minnows that are like a 1/4 inch long, then there was shad that ate those, and there was bluegill that ate those shad, and then there was little bass that ate those. I mean, and so like the food structure there is perfect.
Food chain.
Any bass at any size has food that it can eat to get bigger, and then there's no pressure down there except for the guide services, which, I mean, even if they're guiding, they only guide seasonally. So there's only like a season of time that they're guide in, and then they quit guiding. And so those fish have 6 or 7 months to just reset up, do whatever they need to do, and just be left alone.
And I'm assuming Bailey and Alex, would the time off, the less pressure, does that make those fish more willing to bite or easier to catch?
100%. That's the biggest factor.
It is. Because they don't see lures, bro. I mean, like, they don't see something for 6 months. Well, a bass at its core is dumb. I mean, they're not smart animals. They're instinctually driven, period. And so when the water gets that cold and they have no human stimulus for 6 months,
their buddies aren't getting snatched.
Nobody's getting caught. Nobody's getting jacked with. And like, all of a sudden it thaws out, the sun comes out, the water starts to warm up. And the number one instinct that a bass has is survival and make babies. Yep. And so what do they start doing? They start eating, surviving, and making babies. And when a jig that looks like a bluegill comes by their face, they hit it because they've not seen one in 6 months, and they forgot what it's like to be stuck in the face, and you stick them in the face. Now, Go ahead.
So Bailey, you're not telling me like a couple of the fish, the 2-pounders, well, excuse me, 1.5-pounders we caught this weekend. You're not catching fish that when you get it out, it's got like 5 hook holes in its mouth, and the bitch looks like he ate the biggest treble hook you could ever eat and got his mouth all ripped up.
Pretty rare to find a fish beaten up. Like
Wow.
a lot of your fish we've been catching them, and they're clean. Like they're healthy.
Yeah, no
They live a
spots
good
on
life.
them.
They're thicker than they are long.
Well, I would ask Alex that question, but he fishes a lot of river systems, so he's probably not catching a ton of retreads either. Alex, what were you going to say before I cut you off?
You'd be amazed. No.
Really?
Yeah, so my buddy Josh has caught the same tag fish 3 times in a row. Bro, I'm telling you, our fish get hammered down at the house. It's just because if you got a paycheck and a pulse, you got a boat or a kayak, right? But then too, like it never stops. Like we fish 12 months out of the year down there.
Mm-hmm.
And those poor fish get hammered. And the thing is like, you look at a Chickamauga or you look at a Gunnersville, and yeah, there's big bass caught and there's big bags caught. But just the consistency of bites, the consistency of quality, healthy fish, and the consistency of size is unmatched. Like I said, outside of the North, the only place I can think of is Mexico. And dude, Mexico's Mexico. I mean, This is what it is. But yeah, man, I think so many people, for so long we've been fed a rash of shit that as long as you let them go, they're going to grow, and that the lakes are going to continue to be healthy. And that's just not the truth. That's not the truth.
Well, and you and Bailey both have had, especially you, Alex, y'all have had the biologists on that talk about one of the biggest problems that we have with fish biology is that people are not keeping enough fish, especially in the South. And that's hindering them. I mean, so Falls Lake, we were on Falls Lake this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There was a 2-day tournament the weekend before Saturday, Sunday. So those fish got beat up by, probably a third of the field for practice the week before, 2 weeks in a row. And then they got beat up on that lake's only 12,000 fucking acres. Like our lakes around here are not as big as your lakes, Alex, on Tennessee River. It's 12,000. And this bitch had a tournament on it 2 weekends in a row.
Yep.
I mean, there weren't a ton of huge fish caught out because they're in that postponed funk. But you take a 12,000 acre lake and you have 60 boats, 50 boats for 4 days out of 2 weeks, plus how many ever practiced. Bo, those fish wore the fuck out.
Yep.
they busted
Well,
up.
I mean, we're going to have to at some point accept the fact that tournament fishing, catch and release tournament fishing, needs to be controlled somehow, policed in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And the reason that I say that is because, again, for too long we've been fed a rash of shit. As long as you let them go and let them grow, that everything's just going to be okay. And it's just not the truth. Dude, I mean, that many people on lakes like that is just, it's too much. It's too much pressure on fish. And I mean, man, you're talking to the guy who makes a living fishing, but I would love to see some real conversations about real regulation changes like what they do here in New York, where there's an off season where you can't put them in a box. And all that does is it deters tournament bass fishing when bass are the most vulnerable, which is when they're shallow and they're instinctual and they're dumb and they're hungry. I mean, even at home, April at home, fish are shallow, they're dumb, and they're hungry. And like the thing about it is even at home, like up here, you'll see people fishing for spawning fish and catch the same fish 3 or 4 times. And that's just, that ultimately cannot be healthy for fish. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I mean, I could just go on and on and on about it. I mean, it's just.
This is when you get on a phone call with Alex, you're going to run into this conversation.
Right. And I have a question about this, and we'll make it a short answer from both of you. Is there any possible, feasible way that you take local bass tournaments and have a weigh release or a photo release like we do with kayaking, is there any way you can do that with all these little local tournaments that are fishing out there all the time, where the fish aren't brought back to the ramp and weighed in without people? Obviously, people are going to cheat either way, but is there a way to do that where people aren't cheating to the point that the tournaments are not even remotely fair? Is that possible in the bass boat world?
I think the only possible way for do it is you got to go to the kayak form of competing, because you put just that many tournaments and scales at the local level in play, and guys are going to cheat like hell.
So it's got to be
there's no trust in it. At least with the board, you have the evidence. Like it's a lot easier to mandate. The process is already in, and it's as fair as it's ever been. But boat guys aren't going to do the link thing because it's not cool to them. Yeah.
Again, that's
do you disagree?
Shit.
Agree, disagree?
Hold on, I just dropped my SD card.
Don't lose that footage. That's a 30-pound bag footage too. You found a tick on Bailey, but you can't find your fucking mini SD card?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It may have dropped.
Oh, it's in your beard.
Oh, I heard it.
Bingo. No, I mean, I don't disagree. Here's the thing. I'm going to make this as short as possible without, I'm just going to make it short as possible because I could go down a flipping rabbit hole.
We know.
So I agree with Bailey. And I agree with Bailey because, and I'm going to add to what Bailey said. The reason that tournament fishing is the way that it is because Ray Scott created Bassmaster. And for everything good that Ray Scott did and did for the sport, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, if it probably weren't for Ray Scott, I probably wouldn't have a job in the industry. So you got to give the man his credit where credit is due. But for all the good that he did, that good has now been transformed into a bunch of bad things that need to be rethought. And we need to have a revolution in bass fishing as revolutionary as Ray Scott was to bass fishing when he came around. But it's going to have to be a revolution back to conservation and common sense conservation. And tournament bass fishing is the way that it is because of Ray Scott. But now it is transformed into this ego-driven, gambling-addicted, like we've got to bring 5 back to the scale because we've got to get the picture to post on the Facebook to say that we won $200. And Bailey's right. That sort of mindset towards fishing has created a system that people are willing to cheat to win, because there are literally people out there that are fishing for grocery money, which is horrendous. Like that's never meant to be what the sport was meant to be. And so I think that there is a system that I think the best system that we can do, and the first step that we take is we're going to have to create seasons based off data that's been collected within certain states and certain areas. Because the thing is right now, fisheries at a state level is run on the context and the basis of fishing for everyone. And what that means is as long as there's 12 inchers, then everybody can catch fish. They're not managing it like Texas manages it or New York manages it, where it's grow the biggest fish that we possibly can and do everything that we can to try to...
Don't give any flowers in New York.
Okay, Texas. We'll give it to Texas. What Texas is doing, which is try to grow the biggest bass and try to create these lakes and these environments that create the biggest bass that we possibly can. Every other state in the union that has black bass in it is fishing for everybody. And the thing about it is if fishing is a sport, and if we're going to dump all this money into it, and it is the most popular sport fish in America, how have we not stopped as a group of anglers and gone, hey, we probably need to rethink this for the longevity of what we love to do. But the problem is that there's about 10 dudes who are doing that, me being one of them. And everybody else is just worried about this ego-driven gambling aspect of fishing, which to me is just, it takes away everything which is the essence of the sport. And Bass has taken it, and I'll call Bass out. I've done it before. They probably hate me over there by now. But Bass has created the perfect form and the perfect avenue to get more people into their form of bass fishing through middle school tournaments, high school tournaments, college tournaments, and then all of that leads to, well, then you're going to fish the opens and become a pro one day. Big stage, big dreams. That's just an unrealistic expectation to put on kids. And then two, what is it that we're doing? Are we creating kids who love fishing or kids who love tournaments?
It's bass is the travel ball of fishing.
Bingo. Bro, and that's not what fishing is. You want to know why I quit baseball when I was a kid? Because of travel ball. Because
you outgrew the socks.
Probably that too. But I can remember like dads standing in the outfield screaming at their kids as if though the entire world hinged on whether he hit the fucking ball or not. And it's like that just ruins the fun of what the game is supposed to be.
Bitch, I'm 10 years old. Like I just dug a 8-inch hole in right field.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone. The most fun I've had all day.
I looked at my dad and I was like, Dad, are they biting a spook on Cherokee? He said, yes, son, they probably are. I said, do I have to play baseball anymore? He said, well, you're going to finish out this season because we're not going to quit something we started. But then after that, you don't ever have to play again if you want to go fishing. And I went fishing. And like, I never, and what ruined me from tournament fishing was just people being petty and egotistical and being dicks. And the first tournament that I go back to in the bass boat, in 15 years, they kicked me out because they call me a semi-pro. Dude, it says everything. Literally, my experience of tournament fishing says everything that you need to know about bass boat tournament fishing and the culture around it and just how bad it is. And that all leads back to your question of, is there a way to do this? I don't think there's a way to do this until we completely tear down and rebuild what we know as tournament bass fishing.
Good luck, because I don't see that happening. I say this all the time. Bass anglers, bass tournament anglers are the biggest whiny bitches of any sport, if we want to call it a sport, I have ever seen. They whine, they complain, you know, it's the ego side of it. You know, somebody's better than them because they got live scope and they don't have it. Like, I mean, seriously, the people I see duck hunting and deer hunting and the hunting side of stuff, they aren't whiny bitches. And in the kayak world's a little bit different with fishing. We go kayak tournaments like we're all talking, sharing what we did. It's very open forum. This year I started fishing a local trail, bass boat trail with a buddy. It's a team trail. And when you get out there, it is, you know, the amount of information you're sharing and shooting the shit is very little. Everybody's all secretive about stuff.
And well, that's at a local level. And I think that you bring up a great point here. You go to national level events at kayak tournaments. There's just as much information sharing and cheating. I'm going to call it cheating. It's not information sharing. It's cheating. As there is and it's horrible. Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. There's information sharing. I mean, like, there's people who fish the Cayuga.
I didn't say that.
Listen, there's people who fished the Cayuga Hobie event while I was up here that knew shit that only he knew because somebody found it or watched him go to it and then told them about it. Because there's shit that Bailey knows about that lake that nobody else does. I know that for a fact. And so, but anyway,
it's but you fucking YouTubers.
But here's
YouTubers spot burning.
Yeah. So here's the plague of it all, bro. Here's the hinge. Here's the hinge point. Money, the love of money is the root of all evil. You start getting any large amount of money involved into anything, people turn into egotistical, gambling addict. They're like crack addicts. And like, dude, like they'll do anything to win. And again, when we've sold everybody this rash of shit, big stage, big dreams, and they're literally like putting their family at risk, their mortgage at risk, their bills at risk, and they're literally fishing for dinner money, then we are doing something and creating something that is a monster. That we've let the genie out of the bottle. I don't think we can put it back in at this point. And like, that's the problem. It's like, we love the local stuff and we have so much love at the local stuff because it's $40. If the guy wins, they might win like $800 if you got people to show up, bro. Like, that's not life-changing money. But and neither's $10,000 or even $20,000 or $50,000. It's not life-changing money. But to some people, like I said, they're literally like on the verge of losing everything they've got. $50,000 literally would change their entire existence.
Hey, so to your point, I fished a Bassmasters Club in 2004, 5, 5, 6, somewhere in there. And this is what you're talking about is not new. And one of the guys on there, I remember at our Bassmaster meetings, because you had to have monthly meetings, he talked about, he was saying, if it wasn't, people talk about me fishing all the time, blah, blah, blah. He said, if I wasn't fishing, there were days we wouldn't have been able to go grocery shopping if I had not won money at a fishing tournament. And he's rolling around in a 20-foot bullet with, instead of the chrome wheels, he put $1,000 wheels on it. And it's 2005, let's say. So he's rolling around in an $80,000 truck. He's got a $200,000 rig in 2005 that he's fishing in. He's talking about if he had to won $150, $200 at the local bass tournament that had 12 people in it, they wouldn't have been able to buy groceries. I'm like, I'm not sure the math is really mathing on that.
Yeah, nothing on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
And that's
I mean, that was 20. That's fucking 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing now, except now you go out there, you got 60 boats at a local tournament, and you're like, fuck, there's like $5 million in boats and trucks out here right now. That's not even counting all the gear and tackle. $5 million in boats out here.
The crazy shit that I've come to realize in the past couple of years is there's some folks I've talked to in the fishing space that, when asking, if it wasn't, if you were to get rid of tournament fishing, would it impact you? Like, would you care? And they said that I would stop fishing.
Yep.
And that, I think, is a huge problem because
they like fish tournaments. They love tournaments, not fishing.
Yeah, and that is a big issue because then at the end of the day, they don't care about the fish. That's not their priority. The priority is the tournament, and that creates a huge issue for us because at the end of the day, if we want to call fishing a sport, if a football field, is turning to shit, they just make a new football field. If our lake is turning to shit, there's only one way to fix it, and it's
they quit taking tournaments there. They go somewhere else.
There's a lot of things we got to do. It's not as easy to rebuild and basically bring a lake back to life. That is a multi-year process.
And most of our lakes, like people get so pissed off about, the Corps engineers or the state DNRs taking out the grass from lakes.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of lakes in this country were built for flood control or to generate power.
Yep.
And so they're not there for fishing. They're not there for people to ski and pleasure boat. Those lakes are there for a reason outside of anything to do with the wildlife. Mm-hmm. Now, the wildlife is a big part of that because states make money on their sales for licenses and stuff like that. But the majority of those lakes are specifically there for two main reasons: is flood control and to generate power.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, the North American model of conservation that was put in place by people like Teddy Roosevelt was put in place to conserve and to make sure that wild lands, wild waters, and the ability to hunt and fish were available for people for centuries and centuries and forever. And so, yeah, I get it. That's what they built them for in the 30s because we needed to make atomic bombs to beat the Japanese and the Germans. But now we're at a point with conservation in modern society and our ability to, in a first world country like America, have the privilege and the just awesome opportunity to have recreational fishing on the level that we do. So if we're going to do it and we're going to have it, then let's have the mindset of those people who made those initial starts for us, like a Teddy Roosevelt, and let's manage our waters properly and let's manage our fish properly, and let's quit letting revenue and money drive decision making. Spring City, Tennessee built an entire boat ramp so that they could host bigger and better tournaments. What Spring City also did was they exacerbated the Alabama bass problem within Watts Bar and the rest of the Tennessee River system by hosting the Bassmaster Open, and those guys would go catch 5 Alabama bass, drive them up into the river, cull them with 5 largemouth, and now we don't have big largemouth in our rivers anymore. We have little bitty dink-ass Alabama bass that will now breed and become more pervasive and Out's the largemouth bass. There was not a single person at any point in that conversation ever that stopped and said, is this good for our fisheries and is this good for conversation? And I don't care what Bassmaster says or what MLF says or what anybody says, they're not having those conversations. They're going, what's the best for our revenue? What's the best for making this as much money as we possibly can? Oh, we put out some fish treats and let some fish go and release some baby fish out of some bags. We did conservation. We picked trash up off the side of the shore. That's all great. Those are good things. Yeah, but the fact that you're literally, knowingly, willingly putting invasive species all throughout the lake for the guise of tournament fishing, gambling, and making money. Again, the love of money is the root of all evil. We need to fix that problem first. When we fix that problem, then we fix the whole entire problem. But the problem is, like you said, Paul, I don't think it's going to happen, man, because these dudes love them some tournament fishing and they love them some money. And like, dude, like it's like anything in life. There's three things that get you in trouble: drugs, money, and women. The only thing we got to add to bass fishing is hot women. And bro, that shit is going to burn to the ground like Sodom and Gomorrah because we already got, I mean, like, dude, it's crazy, bro.
Well, hey, on a lighter note, let's talk about something real light. We're an hour in. I told you I was going to keep you about this time. So on a lighter note, we're going to talk about forward facing. So I'm just kidding. We're not. We're not diving into that shit.
It's for the devil. It's for the devil.
The devil. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. What'd you say, Bailey?
There wasn't a forward facing sonar unit used this week.
There you go.
Didn't bring it out.
Gotta have it.
Didn't even have it on the act.
There you go. Well, hey, look, we're not going to talk about that shit because we're getting done. I'm tired. Y'all tired. Bailey's wife over there is like tapping him on his shoulder.
He's already in bed.
What?
Yeah, she's the responsible one in the house. She goes to bed at a good hour.
Oh, she must have to work tomorrow.
She works Monday to Friday.
There you go. See, so Bailey and I were texting us, hey, we're going to keep it short. I know y'all got this going on because he said, hey, my wife wants to know what time, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, man, I get it. I was, I'm a couple inches taller than Bailey. I'm much, much fatter, even though I wasn't back when I was his age. But I said, hey, man, I completely get it. I was married to the breadwinner of my family for pretty much every year we've been together since 2008, with the exception of this past year, 2024. And it's because she wanted to be home with the kids and start her own business, and she's doing it. Now her schedule's easy and all this and that. So I told Bailey, look, I understand where you're coming from, brother. We're going to do it. We're going to take care of it. But real quick, we're going to sign this off here. And I'm going to ask Bailey the first question. I'm going to ask Alex another question. And the problem is Alex is going to take us way over the time that I had allocated unless Bailey starts like tickling his leg hairs to make he thinks he has ticks trying to get up into his ball sack. But Bailey, tell us about, we talked about this the last time you were on. You just started the Serious Angler Network where you had branched out. You hadn't even gone publicly full-time fishing and podcasting, but you're here now. How's it going, man? You got a lot of shit going on with Serious Angler.
Yeah, there's a lot on that front, but it's all good stuff in regards to the last time we talked, we had 4 shows. We actually had down to 3. We actually dissolved Biz from the Bass Boat, and it's now every show of Serious Angler there's a 5-10 minute segment of Biz from the Bass Boat inside of that show. It just made more sense because we're already talking about fishing industry anyway. But what we did is with the Serious Angler show is we have 2 bi-weekly segments. One that is called The Real Biology, which is Stephen Barden, who's been on Alex's show as well. He's a fisheries biologist out of Texas. So he comes on. We talk about different issues with biologists from Missouri and Arkansas and things like that, and talking about the exact things that Alex just went on his 30-minute rant about. Because they do need to be talked about a lot more. They really do. Right. And Alex has been driving it home for, leading the pack for years now. But and then the other one is Seriously Western, which is specifically all focused on showing love to the bass fishing and just fishing scene in general that's on the West Coast.
Yeah, because weren't you out there at the one tournament 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, the BAM Tour event over at Don Pedro, and that's with the new BAM Tour Super 60 that's out there doing some pretty cool stuff. Because they had what's called the Apex Tour, which was the only like somewhat professional tour out there for the West Coast anglers that don't want to drive 42 hours for every event that's out on the East Coast. So we helped cover out there, and I'll be actually going to the 3 more events this year out in California and in Oregon. But yeah, we've brought on some folks, build the team a little bit more, and things are looking really good. And the full-time stuff is wild. I've spent the past 4 days fishing with the Lorax, and there's been many a times though I've had to stop myself and just think how cool this is.
Yeah.
No, I can't get too excited though.
Well, when you put together a lot of industry knowledge and then good fishing, you get serious angler. That's why I'm wearing my hat tonight, and I wear my hat proudly all the time on other podcasts I'm on. And I'm glad. I'm glad because if it wasn't for Bailey and Alex Rudd, which was a surprise, it was supposed to be Bailey, Andrew, and our good buddy from out west, Deacon, who is the hardest person in the world to tie down for anything. But that. Right. We're here. Rudd, what do you have going on that's exciting or new? And if you don't have anything exciting or new, you don't have to say anything else. But I mean, you've always got something working.
Yeah, man. No, I just got obviously all these videos from this week will be coming out. Planning, got a trip to Michigan in June. That'll be fun. We obviously got ICAST in July, but Pure Fishing won't be there. I'm actually just going by myself. Just going to go down there and go see everybody and hang out and do some business.
He's going to shake some hands, kiss some babies.
That's right. That's right. Go put on the old Alex Red car. The Rudd salesman will show up. And then probably doing some shoal bass fishing this fall. Obviously got the new, well, not obviously. There's a lot of people that don't know about it yet, but it's a growing.
You haven't posted that yet.
What?
Are you talking about the yak?
Oh, no, I don't care about that. No, the new YouTube channel.
Bailey was like, no. Cut.
Yeah.
Disregard.
Yeah.
We don't edit Bass and Brews Podcast, so if you say this shit, it's out and open for all 10 people.
Yeah, that's right. All 30 people. Anyway. Damn. I'm sorry.
I said 10. He said 30. Is that a cat toy?
Yeah, I'm playing my cat over here on the side.
I love your kitty cat. Anyway, go ahead, Fred.
Got a new YouTube channel.
So, a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's Bass Fishing Tips is what it's called. And it's strictly bass fishing tips. It's once a week. I break down a form of bass fishing or a lure or a technique, and I just talk about what works for me as a guy who gets to fish 40 hours a week and who fishes all the time. And I talk about things that I know and that work for me and have caught me fish. And I don't try to make stuff up or talk over my head or try to sound professional or whatever. I just talk bass fishing. And that channel just passed 7,000 subscribers, and it's growing and doing really, really well. So if people want to just like hear just straight, no BS bass fishing tips, go to Bass Fishing Tips on YouTube.
So I would tell you this is, Bass and Brews is really good about giving $1 million ideas out. I love it. It's a great name, but you should put Bass Fishing Tips by Semi-Professional.
I know.
You should put semi-professional somewhere in there because, that's how most people know you as a semi-professional.
I'm the semi-pro, bro.
You're the semi-pro.
I am the semi-pro.
Exactly.
I need to get some shirts made.
You need to recover the actual movie Semi-Pro and just put your face up.
Yeah. That's it. I am semi-pro.
Look, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. It was good to talk to you as always. We'll try to set up something with the Serious Angler Network pros. Oh, Alex, real quick before I forget, you got to meet Dave the intern, Wolf of Walmart.
Yeah, dude, he's the man.
Lucky bastard. Yeah,
I love that.
He seriously looked like he was 5 foot tall.
He's
amongst
small.
The giants.
Yeah, he's small compared to me and John. John's a big guy. I mean, John's like
tall.
John's an inch taller than I am. So I'm 6'4". John's like 6'5".
He's a basketball guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. John's a big old boy. But no, yeah, no, Dave was awesome. He's a really nice guy. He helped me to actually get my new kayak rigged up. So he helped me get my rigged up and everything like that. I do have a new kayak that'll be coming out soon. Everybody will get to see that. I think people kind of probably figured out what I got at this point. But
it's called a Skeeter.
It's called a Skeeter. Yeah, I'm about to sell all these plastic boats. I do have to say, and we're not going any further, but like the kayak dudes in their kayaks, man, like they really like their kayaks because like when I started switching up kayaks, man, I mean everybody
they got mad.
They just
it's like turf wars, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's just like
it's dumb. Look, I fish out of a Hobie because that's what the fuck that I liked. I only looked at 2 kayaks. That's what I liked. That was the first one that came up that was in my price range. And that was it. Like it is.
I might go try to find one back from like 2019, one that doesn't, carry 5 gallons of water in it.
So, yep, mine's a 2019. That's exactly what year mine is.
So I gotta go look for one.
Yeah. Look, I love I did have to patch a hole in it, but it was my fault. I was using the Hobie wheels.
Yeah, see, that's not. It doesn't come standard with a hole in it, like the 2025.
No, it doesn't get a hole in it the second you take it out in some.
No, it just comes with a hole.
Oh,
no, it's not even a hole. It's a manufacturer defect, is what it is. That's not a hole.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
It's a big problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's 10 gallons of water kind of problem.
Well, it doesn't take much to get into your hole in a Hobie before you start getting tipsy turvy, especially when you're 6'8" like Alex. I mean,
well, it's a great kayak if you aren't going to put a motor on it. If you're going to put a motor on it, you better expect that you're going to have 10 gallons of water in your hull.
Well, I've got a front mounted motor on mine, and the only water that gets in mine after I fix the hole is when mine's a Minn Kota that I have to deploy. It's the foot pedal deploy. Mm-hmm. And so I have to go take my fat ass to the front of my kayak and, standing up and all the water comes into the kayak and then goes into the rod holders. The 2 times that I have to deploy and then bring back the trolling motor.
But that makes sense.
Rod holders.
That makes sense, though. It doesn't make sense. All right, I'll end my rant there.
Anyway, good times. This is a short episode, I know, but I told y'all at the beginning it was going to be short. This is how it goes sometimes. And we've got 2 guys here that have been fishing for 4 days, and Bailey's wife has already gone to bed after she questioned him on how long it was going to take. And Alex and Bailey have to go do tick checks for each other. Make sure you take the ball sack left and right far enough to get up under there and all that good. But I appreciate y'all coming on. This is good. Y'all look out for when are these videos coming out for the Dirty 30, y'all call it, these 25-pound bags. When are they going to be out?
Next couple weeks here. I got to get home. I'm obviously don't go home until day after tomorrow. And then once I'm home, I'm kind of chilling next week editing. So hopefully get those out. I got a couple videos already scheduled, but I think I'm going to put like all the New York videos out like pretty close together just so everybody can like enjoy them all. There's one I can't put out yet. There's one that literally will not come out till October because it's all about a brand new bait that I can't show everybody yet. But other than that one, all of the New York videos will be out very, very soon.
Well, look, that's good timing because this podcast will come out a week from tomorrow, which today is what the fuck, the 8th or the 10th or something of May. So y'all, if you're listening now, keep a lookout for their videos coming out. They'll be coming out the week of this podcast or next couple weeks after. Thank y'all for coming on. This was a good time. I'm not going to play the ending music because we don't have time for that shit because we're all tired. We all have real jobs. Well, I have a real job. They get to fish for a living. But look, if you're so inclined, go subscribe to our Patreon. You get 1 month where you get to listen to me and Alex talk shit for 45 minutes or so. And then outside of that, we love y'all. Any leaving words from YouTube before we end this? Bailey gave us a middle finger. Alex is trying
I appreciate everybody.
Alex is rubbing his head, but there's no hair there. So we're going to end it. We love y'all. Go fuck yourselves. Goodbye.
Love it.